All right, thank you, Eugene, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here today and talk about Escal, what we do, and our journey in sustainability. Well, before I dive into the topic, let me just quickly introduce the company so that you know who we are, where we come from. So, Escal was founded in 1987. We've been in the industry for 45 years. We remain as a private, family-owned business operating a seed-to-shirt, vertically integrated supply chain. In the past, we had a heavy focus in the OEM business. In 2019, we were the brand behind the brands, producing over 100 million pieces of garment annually for leading brands. Nowadays, we have transformed our business and we have moved into innovation, education, incubation, brands, and investment as well. So we want to provide practical experience and leading examples for the transformation and sustainable development of the traditional manufacturing industry. Well, actually, today, the previous two speakers has already shared a lot about what are the issues associated with the textile and fashion industry. So I don't think I need to go into detail. Dr. Stefan mentioned that it takes a lot of water to produce one piece of jeans, and I also have a figure here that it takes 2,700 liters of water to produce one single T-shirt. Well, it's a bit less, but still it's a crazy amount of water. So apart from all these environmental issues, of course, labor rights is one of the key concerns as well. Recognizing the impact we have on our world, it's in our position to make a change. And that's why our company vision is to make a difference with two primary focus, tackling the climate change and narrowing the wealth gap. We can split roughly our visions into two parts, the environmental aspect as well as the people aspect. And then we can also manifest in four different pillars. Namely, we have planet, product, people, and community. Well, since the topic for today is about circularity, so I'm gonna spend more time and focus on the environmental aspect. So, as I mentioned, under the environmental aspects, we have planet and products. Under these pillars, our focus represents our commitment throughout the supply chain, from raw materials, process, to final goods in the areas of water, energy and emission, chemical, and waste. It is our goal to build a sustainable business model. As we all mentioned, the textile industry, it's known to be one of the most polluting, and it's very water intensive as well. About 20% of the global water pollution comes from the textile industry. So water has always been our key focus. Our approach to water stewardship operates on three levels. First, purified, reduce, and eliminate. For a purified level, in the year 2000, we have invested in our own wastewater treatment plant to minimize the environmental footprint and to tackle the rampant issue of water pollution. It is now one of the biggest wastewater treatment plant in the China textile industry, with the capacity of 32,000 tons of water daily. The next level, reduce. In 2021, we introduced greenwash into our operations to improve water efficiency and reduce water intensity. Greenwash only uses about 2% of water compared to a conventional wash. And now this is widely adopted in our operation. And the last level, eliminate. With over 10 years of research and development, we've introduced waterless dye technology last year. This technology is actually the first to achieve in dyeing natural fibers in an industrial scale with any fresh water input. making it a significant breakthrough in the industry. And this waterless dye technology has actually been recognized and received multiple awards as well. Oops. Yes, in line with our commitment to tackle the climate change, making improvement in the areas of energy and emission, in 2021, we've made our pledge to achieve net zero by 2050 and halve our emission by 2035. We have set out several action areas to improve energy efficiencies across our supply chain and to increase the utilization of renewable energy. We are still in the process of building more and more solar panels across our manufacturing sites as well. And then we also have different initiatives to educate our employees as well as influencing our suppliers. Next, one of our ways to improve in the area of chemicals is actually by researching and introducing natural dye into the commercial industry. Since 2018, we've been working with academia to explore the industrialization of natural plant-based dye. And we're working with customers to develop and apply these products. By using natural dye for coloring, not only reduces the harm of chemical dyes to the human body, but also greatly reduces the toxicity of the dyeing wastewater. So it's beneficial both for the human and for the environment. Well, the last focus is waste. Given the growing challenge of resource depletion and waste management, the ideas of circularities is becoming increasingly important. So we believe that circularity actually starts from within. Every year, we produce and provide over 100,000 uniforms to our employees. So recognizing the waste from our own internal operations, from the uniforms, we started the uniform recycling program last year. We collect the used uniforms from our staff, scrap them, and turn them into yarns that can use to create new uniforms. In this way, we can prevent waste and reduce the consumption of virgin materials. One of the key takeaway for us actually is not so much focusing on the product itself, but rather to engage our employee in this circularity agenda. By having them taking part in this program, they help to collect these uniforms, remove some of these parts, and at the end of this program, they actually receive a new uniform, well, a new recycled uniform. So they actually get to enjoy the fruit of the program, and then they can actually be part of this circularity agenda. I think the education here is very important, one of the key messages for us as well. And as part of the industry, of course, to achieve circularities, we must find the right partners who share the same vision and the demand in the market. At present, we are working with different customers, and we offer a variety of products that engage in circularities. For example, if you look at the cardigan, it's actually made of cut-off fabric from the production, and the tote bag is actually made out of surplus fabrics of a shirt production. So we try to find different ways to make use of all these leftover fabric and waste from our production as much as possible. While circularity is often associated with upcycling and turning waste into new products, but actually a simpler approach is to actually minimize the waste from the outset by avoiding unnecessary production, right? So we've been developing and promoting digitalization. It allows us to reduce unnecessary sample creations from trims, fabrics, and of course garments. If you look at the showroom, it's actually our virtual showrooms, and our customers, they can get to see the products, the fabrics from this showroom. And of course, that closely resemble to the real thing. So digital showroom or digitalization does not only reduce waste, but also help to speed up with the product development. And it also helped to reduce the environmental footprint on shipping as well. In 2022, I think we've produced more than 8,000 different kinds of virtual samples for our customers. Well, as I mentioned, the traditional textile industry are increasingly unsustainable. So how do we actually move forward as an industry, and how can we create a positive impact? With this in mind, we have developed Intergo, a sustainable development garden that embodies our philosophy in sustainability. Intergo is based in Guilin with the area of 500,000 square meters, which is about 1.2 times of the West Kowloon district. This can give you a rough idea of how big it is. It is actually a showcase of how the industry can be like in the future. A model that combines innovation, quality employment, culture, and environmental sustainability. We want to demonstrate how manufacturing and nature can coexist in harmony. We've implemented different initiatives that showcase our commitment. So from upskilling our workers and improving labor conditions to building trust and respect. Also, we try to promote employee wellness by introducing healthy diet with a new dining model at our canteen, which is called Dining 2.0. We also have our own, we call Intergo Conversation, which is an annual flagship event that brings together thought leaders and experts from different fields to discuss and share sustainability insights. We also have a natural dye garden over there that we've been working with academia since, I think, 2018. It's about 40,000 square meters. It's home to 8,000 trees with 100 different species that we are trying to develop the natural dye. Last but not least, we have recently received the LEED Gold certificate at the site. So it is the first project in Guilin to receive such recognition. Well, I think I have said enough. So let me show you a short video, and that can give you a glimpse of how Intergo looks like. And I would warmly welcome you to visit the site in person and experience it for yourself. Well, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you. Happy to take any questions.